If you have ever felt that your Google ads are not performing, you are not alone. I have been managing Google ads for over 10 years in B2B and B2C, and I've spent millions of ad spend. And trust me, these 7 mistakes I'm going to show you, I've seen over and over again, even in large spending accounts. But here's the thing, if you just fix 1 or 2, they can have a big impact. If you fix all of them, your exponential growth is on its way. So let's dive in. And just in case you don't believe me, on the screen you see my Google Ad Manager account. And in the last month alone, I've spent almost $800,000. In case you don't believe me, and just to prove that it's wrong and not a fake screenshot, let me refresh the data here, and you will see it will be the same data. Give it a moment, and here we go. What is the first mistake? It's right here in the setup. You need to pick the right objective for your campaign. If you want more leads, you need to pick leads. If you want sales, you need to pick sales. It's very logic. But most people start with website traffic. They think the more traffic they get, the more clicks, the more people will convert. But this is not true. Google is a big machine with a lot of data, and they will try to get you the most for your objective. Let me give you a simplified example. If you optimize for clicks, you might get a keyword that costs you only $1 per click compared to another keyword B here, that costs you $10. But if you go all the way through, maybe the keyword A is not converting at all, but keyword B is and gets you actually business. You want to spend then $10 per click on that keyword that generates you revenue. And that brings me to mistake number 2, a weak keyword strategy. It all starts with keyword research. You need to be able to find commercial or transactional intent keywords. What I mean by that, keywords that indicate that someone is ready to contact or buy from your business. If they are in an informational research stage, it's probably too early to bid on these keywords. They are not converting well. For that, you need a larger budget to be everywhere. If your goal with a smaller budget is to generate leads, you can't afford information. Let me give you an example on that. Let's say you are a project management software. If you go for keywords like just project management or how to implement a project plan, how to manage a project, those keywords are too up in the funnel that someone will contact you. You need to get commercial intent keywords like project management software provider, best project management software. And with that, the next mistake within the weak keyword strategy is the wrong match type. Google Ads keywords have match types, and they go from broaden, which is this wide circle, to phrase, to exact. So they are more and more closely to what you actually try to bid on. If you want to learn more about the match types of Google Ads, I have a resource here for you. This is one of my processes, resources, APIs within my free SOP library. You can get access by scanning the QR code on the screen or follow the link in the description. I will show you in this video many other SOPs and processes, but there's also more in the library. And that brings me actually to the next part, negative keywords. When you pick your keywords, you need to also think about keywords you want to exclude. For example, you want to exclude the short tail keyword project management for project management software provider. So you don't get those short keywords that are just informational query. On top of that, if you don't offer a free trial or if you're a paid subscription, maybe you want to exclude free. So it's very important to think about keywords to exclude. In Google Ads, it's called negative keywords. Again, here's an SOP on how to manage it on an ongoing basis, but also at the end with a prompt that will help you building from the get-go. Mistake number 3 I constantly see is picking an arbitrage budget. Many people just take advantage of their marketing spend or of their revenue and then apply it to Google Ads. While this is obviously a logical step, you need to go a step further. You need to reverse engineer your goal and then how much it costs. But it starts again with your keyword strategy. If you have picked the wrong keywords, you get wrong data from the forecast or from your campaigns. If you scale a not performing campaign, you just waste more money as you go. Picking the right budget is one of the exercises I always do with my clients. For example, I go in and say, like, if your goal is leads or businesses, let's reverse engineer the entire funnel. Let's go through this step by step on what this costs you and then match it to the gap you want to achieve. If you want 20 leads, let's put in 20 leads as the goal and see what it would potentially cost you to get there. It is following simple math. If you don't have any data, you can use benchmarks for conversion rate, etc. Another way is to use the Google Keyword Planner. It's a free tool within Google Ads. This is from an old planning I did, but it gives you the forecast based on the keywords and the settings you put in. Mistake number 4, you send all your traffic to a homepage. You need to create a dedicated landing page that matches the search intent of the keyword. What I mean by that, technically every page you'd send traffic to is a landing page. But what I mean within Google Ads setup is the page that is only designed for this. It doesn't have any navigation. It doesn't have anything that sidetracks you. Let me show you an example for this. This is mondays.com homepage. You see a lot of content. You see a lot of different things you can click on. You can also go to the main navigation and then click left and right. Now let's look at their landing page for a Google ad campaign. You can see this doesn't have a main navigation. You can only contact sales or get started. You can select what you want to manage, and it's all very simple. It just talks about project management, and you have one call to action. It is not that you can get divergent. I don't want to go into full detail on best practices, but again, here's an SOP that can help you to create landing pages. And why is this so important? This is where the conversion happens. So landing pages is usually one of the biggest levers within your campaign setup. Once you nail your landing pages, your campaign structure becomes key. Of course, every goal and bid strategy needs its own campaign, but you also need to group your keywords by ad group, and then also potentially even if you want to apply different budgets, everything is how you set up the campaign. Normally you go with very, very little but related keywords for one ad group that drive traffic to one specific landing page. So in a simplified way, you create one ad group for every landing page. It doesn't mean that you need to put all the keywords for that landing page into one. You can also have the landing page connected to multiple ad groups, because in an ad group, you manage the ads that drive then the click to a landing page. There is a trend in Google Ads, which is called the one keyword ad group. That means you have just one keyword per ad group, so you can manage and optimize fully the ad copy as well as the landing page. Often this is overbought and you can group them together, but think about your website structure already. Let's go back to the example for project management software. If it's generic project management software, you might want to group them. If it's for specific features within that, like how to create a Gantt chart, or if you target different audiences with the keywords, like for example, project management software for large teams versus project management software for small companies. So let's talk about mistake number 6, no conversion tracking. If you want to learn how everything of this aligns, I have another video that explains Google Ads like if you were 5 years old. But obviously, if you want to optimize for the return on advertising spend, you need to bring back the data into Google Ads of the revenue you generated. So normally you do this by connecting your CRM, your marketing automation platform, to Google Ads. If this is already too far, obviously you can start with just conversions. You measure conversion. And also for this, landing pages are a great way. How I like to implement this in a simple way is I have a landing page that has one call to action. For example, here, the call to action is get started. If I follow this through, I get to a dedicated thank you or confirmation page. I can track when someone gets to this page through the Google Ads pixel, through Google Analytics, or also when someone fills out a form and this is connected to my CRM. I send that data back and then I have a conversion. If I go for conversion value, I can do obviously multiple things. Again, the best way is to connect it to your CRM and then connect it to an actual opportunity that is created. If you use Go High Level, HubSpot, or probably even Monday.com, familiar with it, you can actually send the value of an opportunity back to Google Ads, and then you have the actual conversion value. You could use to get started an arbitrage conversion value that you set in the settings. Also for that, you need to create different campaign structures. For example, maybe the project management software for large teams has a conversion value of 2,000, versus the one focusing on small businesses, the only 500. But again, the best way is to obviously go for actual customer lifetime value. And lastly, mistake number 7, set and forget mentality. Often people don't set it up correctly and ignore a lot of the mistakes I just covered. But even when they do it right, they think, okay, I'm golden. I don't need to focus on the management. 3 of the most common mistakes within the set and forget mentality is to not touch the keywords. one of the most powerful things is managing negative keywords on an ongoing basis. Watch my related video to this. You will find the link in the description and also get access to this SOP. Another thing is to not test. This goes for landing pages particularly. Also here I have a video how you can learn about the engagement on your landing pages so you can develop hypotheses on testing. But obviously this goes further than landing page testing. You want to test bid strategies. You want to test potentially micro conversions, like if someone clicks the button, if someone reaches a certain page type. I don't recommend this in the beginning, but you could test those things further on. Keywords testing, like including, excluding keywords. There's obviously way more to cover in the ongoing optimization, but the last point I want to make is the Google Ads quality score, because it kind of combines a lot of those things. The quality score gives you information about the ad relevance, the expected click-through rate, and the landing page experience. You can get scores for each of those three, so enable them in Google Ads and then go through them by keyword, and there you have already a roadmap for optimizing your campaign. Again, this is one of the SOPs. If you need help with your setup or ongoing management with Google Ads, feel free to contact me and we will get you a positive return on advertising spend. Cheers.